Right, another sort of video for you guys. This is not a repair. This is something I would like to talk from my own personal experience, basically. Um, Early 2010, I lost my dad and went through a lot of stress, basically. Sadly, we lost him due to medical negligence at the hospital. So I've actually, from that moment onward, I've learnt the hard way and understood how the hospital operates and what type of agenda that they have, basically. And They failed my dad badly. They failed our family badly. And since then, I've lost all my trust and faith in hospitals, basically. Now, I'm not sort of slagging off all the hospitals. There are good hospitals and there are dirty hospitals, sick hospitals like the one that my dad was in, basically. This dialogue goes into everything. We've got good human, we've got bad human. And it's famously known that the fact that there's a lot of negligence that takes place in the hospitals. Back in the early days, early 90s, even prior to that, when a patient needed treating, that patient got treatment. But these days, it's all about. That's what I believe. It's my belief. These days, it's all about saving cost, and sadly, not saving lives. That's from my own personal experience. Now, I respect everybody's view. I respect your views. But from what I've experienced, I will stand by till the last minute of my life. End of. Okay? Now, here's a typical example. So the reason why I brought this up, about my dad, is that I kept on cursing myself when he passed away. That I could have done something different for him, and I saw these hints that were coming from the doctors in the hospital, but why didn't I pick up on that? Why didn't I trust them? Because they kept on promising, no, there is a plan and schedule, right? And if somebody wants to talk about medical negligence and issues about hospitals, I can go on for all day, basically. If you talk about treatments, let's talk about treatments, okay? Let me give you an example of what happens around the NHS hospitals in the UK. Okay, so say for example you've got an illness, and this is my belief, and I have right, and I have a to my it's a freedom of speech. This is from my own personal experience, so I'm not coming up with theories and all that. I've seen it all happening every day. Going back onto the main thing. So you're sick, you get seen by your GP. Your GP then refers you onto the hospitals. Hospital carry out necessary testing, blood tests, X-rays, whatever it is that I need to do, MRI scan, CT scan, and try and establish what the problem is. So some of the time you'll hear it from them, oh well, still we can't find what the problem is and blah blah, so and so. To my mind, that's just technically fobbing people off. Right. The other thing is that what you will find, there is a pattern. There's a pattern. Well, that pattern is basically that what they'll do is they'll give you an appointment. So that appointment gets rescheduled. You attend that appointment. You see a consultant. Then the appointment gets extended to another appointment. You see another consultant. Have a chat. Maybe they'll do referral to a scan or something like that. Then you come back for your results from your scan. You go and see another consultation with a consultant. Okay, and this vicious circle of consultation and consultation and consultation with numerous consultants, it just carries on. So where the fuck is the treatment? Where is the treatment? When does the treatment come into place? Right now, hand on heart. If some of you've actually gone through the system, had things done, I'm happy for you. I'm absolutely happy for you. I'm glad that you've been treated by the hospitals. I'm glad that you've encountered a good doctor and they've treated you well. But for me, from my personal experience, sadly, I've seen the worst, and that is a death in the family due to medical negligences. Now, the question some of you might raise is, why didn't you sue them? Well, I'll share a little secret with you guys, okay? These bastards didn't release the documentations. They've kept the documentations for 6 months. When they released the documentations after 6 months, they released proportion of the documents, the vital documents that could have shown any level of medical negligence. They kept those documents, and they kept on saying they couldn't trace the documents. They can't find the documents. Eventually, when I started pressing the ball on it, they handed the documents over. But guess what? Motherfuckers, right? They've actually altered the documentations. These were the medication charts. These were his daily charts, that what he had and what he's done and what they've done and so on and so forth. Everything was altered. Everything was altered. Me and my sister visited the hospital twice, 3 times a day, you know, just because we loved our dad, and that's just the way things are. I am who I am because of him. And I'm very attached to my family, don't get me wrong, and I have a lot of respect for people. Yeah, I'm swearing on the video because I'm angry. This is an awareness video, and this is what I believe in, and that is my belief. If you want to sue me, sue me. Right. Going back onto the moral of the video, okay, is that I developed an IBS, which is irritable bowel syndrome. So I cursed myself, crying, and did what it is. I was emotionally broke. And then suddenly this pain came about. And it's been nearly, 10 years and 11 years, and I'm still suffer from that, unfortunately. Now, one key advice that I'm going to give everybody, which is hard, so it's easy said than done, is to keep your stress level low. Live by the day. Tomorrow, you wake up from the morning and you'll decide what you need to do. I used to have long plans, and I don't do that anymore because I've learned the hard way. Live by the day. That's what I do. I'm not telling you, I'm not dictating how to live your life, but what I am saying is just my opinion, that I personally live by the day. When I wake up tomorrow, I will then decide what I'm doing and how things are planning out. We'll see to it. So then I've been to the doctors. For first 5 years, I was frightened to death going into the GP, right? So eventually the pain was so high that I felt that I'm going to die, but I'm having difficulty breathing. So I go and see my GP. So they've done the checkups, very basic checkups and all that, and they've came up with the fact that I have an IBS, which I already knew about it. Okay. So what does he prescribe? He prescribes me this medication, which is amitriptyline. I may not be pronouncing it correctly, but this is what it prescribes. Okay. I was on it for 8 months. I was sleeping like a dead horse, basically. 13 hours a day. Wake up and you're still tired, jumping back into bed. That 8 months of my life was in a different league. Towards the end of the 8 months, the pain had started coming back. So I thought, what's going on here? Why? I thought it's actually treated. So when we looked on the prescription and looked online what this prescription was all about, it's actually to treat depression, spasm pain, back pain, and all that. And I'm thinking, what's going on here? IBS is an inflammation in your bowel system. So effectively, I'm not a scientist and I'm not a GP, but I'll keep things very simple. Do your own research and you'll find it. So what that means is that there's an inflammation in your bowel system, in your bowel. And there's more of the bad bacteria than the good bacteria. Because the food you waste it gets stored there. And then you sort of pass it, you know, your whole gut functions and everything. I'm not going to go into all that. But that's what IBS is. There's inflammation in your bowel that needs to be treated. I've looked online and there was a lot of American doctors that are prescribing very expensive drug to patch and cure the problem. Possibly. It's not been tried and tested by myself, so I can't say that, but that's what my study sort of, that's what I found from my study, basically. So where do we go from there, basically? Okay. I've stopped the medication immediately as soon as I found out that this is to treat the spasms and all that. IBS is not spasm. Yes, Some might say that the amitriptyline or whatever this medication is, it's just to relax your body. Of course you've got to relax your body. I've tried absolutely everything, but the pain was still there. So then I stopped the medication, stopped the doctors. Absolutely no chance I'm going back there. Okay. I bump into a herbalist. Herbalist treated me for about a year and a half. The pain has mild off a little bit, but it's not fully gone. So then I made a trip to abroad. That was back in 2016. I slept well. I was also suffering from insomnia. And I'll go into that as well on a separate video. Vitamin D3. Wow. It's godsend. That's what somebody needs. If they're from an Asian family, Asian background, or they have a vitamin D3 deficiency or vitamin D deficiency, they need to start taking them because they help a lot. I'm telling you that now, honestly. Right, that'll be a separate video, that. Okay. 2016, went, stayed there. I've slept every single day. No insomnia. On the 16th day, when I got up from bed, I realised that there's no tenderness and there's no pain on my lower left-hand side of the abdominal. I thought, what? What's gone on here? It took me by a bit of a surprise, thinking, what's going on? I could not believe that I became better again. Came back into the UK, chilled, perfectly fine. It probably patched me up for about, it happened just naturally. I wasn't taking any substances, any treatment, anything like that, basically. Something happened. I just can't explain what happened. So, in the end, maybe about a year and a half, 2 years after, it was about my own stupidity that I started hanging around with a group of my friends, and nice people, absolutely cracking people. We're staying awake till 5, 6 o'clock in the morning, so the sleeping pattern's been disturbed quite badly, and also having coffees, strong coffees and teas and all that 5 o'clock in the morning. And sadly, the IBS came back, which was a bit of a scare for me, thinking, oh my God, because it was quite bad actually. That if I went into the hospital, the option would have been is to take your fucking bowel out, just chop it off and put a fucking bag on the side. Fucking mother, fucking effing whatever you want to say, right? Okay. So I'm walking around in the supermarket. I see a lovely lady in the pharmacy that used to work. She's got her own stall in the mall, basically. So I approached her and I said, right, listen, this is what the situation is. I don't want to go to the doctors because I'm wasting my time with them. They'll prescribe me with medication that has no relevance to the symptom. And it's not. It'll be patching the pain, but it's not curing the problem. The problem is still there. But it's fooling the brain to think that the pain is no longer there by patching it up, whatever it does, the medication, right? What do I do? And that's when she said to me, that's what you need, boy. Yeah, that's what you need, lad. Okay? Use this. Lepicol, high fibre. That's all you need. Try it out. Come back to me. Yeah, take a few sachets for free for 3 days. Try it out, see what you think. Wow. Now, this is not a paid promotion or anything like this. This is my personal view of how I've tackled and controlled IBS. Okay? There's two variations on this. There's a green one and there's a red one. The green one contains less of the substances like ginger. Let me just see on the ingredients, right? Okay. Just give me a sec. Let me just find. There's no one together. Ingredients, Lepicol. Okay, just. I'm sure it's got to have it basically. Let me just find that for you. So just hang in there. Yeah, it's on the small print basically here. Okay, so the extras ones, in comparison to the green tub, is that this contains ginger root, peppermint leaf, fennel seeds, bromelain, and those are the extras what you get on the red tub. Okay, plus that the red tub you can have it, you've got to have it once or twice before your main meal. So you take a teaspoon with about 3/4 of a glass of water. Make it. In fact, I'm going to do that now and drink it. Just give me a sec. Right, we're back to the recording again. Okay, excellent. So this is what I take every day twice a day before my two main meals. What it is just, there's like a husk. That's all it is. And it's all natural based. There's no additives and there's no bullshit what you get on medicines, basically. Right? That much. Maybe a little bit more if you want to. Alright? Now, this tastes bland. It's very bland taste. So what I tend to do is add a bit of honey. Honey's good for you. So that's that. And then the water. Okay, so you get the idea. Give it a good stir. Once you don't leave it for long, only for few seconds. Give it a stir and drink it straight away. Don't sort of or leave it there because it'll start developing. And some of it will start sticking on the side of the glass. This type of thing won't cause fatality. It won't kill you. Either it'll benefit you or it won't benefit you. That's the end of it. It's not like a fucking drug what you're trying out. When you're going into the doctors, they're taking various blood tests and all this and that, and then they're precautioning you. Oh, you take this medication, that's fine, it'll treat the problem, but there is a risk that it may damage your liver. What? So there's a risk of damaging a liver or damaging some other organs, but then you sort of so they're taking all the precautions basically. They're telling you what they need to tell you basically, and it's down to yourself whether you want to take the risk. Well, I'm not taking no risk. So, and then you follow it up with a bit more clean water, basically, just so that these stuffs are not stuck on your windpipe and your throat, basically, and all that business. Right. So I've taken my bit. I'm going to wait for my main meal in a short while. So I've got to wait for about 10 minutes before my main meal. With the green one, you've got to give half an hour. Now, the price differences are only a few quid. So, for example, the green one's about £11.50. That's about £13.50. You can find them on Amazon all day long. Boots sell them on a promotion. And I tend to buy a lot of them, basically. When I'm buying in the pack of 10s and whatever it is, because this is something that I will have to take for the rest of my life. Okay? And, we all earn to live and live a comfortable life, and that's just the way things are. So if this is costing me £13.50 a month, so be it. I'm on various other vitamins, basically. Vitamin B8 complex. Again, these are bought from Amazon. Vitamin D3, vitamin D3, and I'm also taking flaxseed oil, which sort of has omega-3 and various other things. So those are my sort of homeopathy, if it makes it. It's, if that's how you want to say it. That's how I'm keeping my. I mean, I'm past my 40s now, okay? So, I know I wasn't going to discuss my age and all that. I don't care. I just don't care. I'm just trying to help people out here, basically. That's my main motive, okay? So, when you hit your 40s, your body starts declining. It's no longer, you're no longer your man. Your eyesight, your hearing problems, your teeth starts falling off, and there's various. These are the common issues. Your hair starts falling off as soon as you start 40. Some of you might start losing your hair, teeth, whatever it is at the age of 20. I'm not sort of arguing about that. What I'm saying is, as an act of nature, when you hit 40, you have various health issues that's coming up. This is why it's very critical that you sort of keep the stress level as low as possible. Listen, I totally understand. The minute you wake up, you got to worry about your bills. That you got to worry about your rent. You got to worry about your card bills, your mortgage, and all that. I too have all that. But I've stopped. I try not to worry about it because whatever you earn, and you've got to pay your bills, and you've got to pay your bills. That's just the way things are. Sadly, I wish I had a magic wand and I can get rid of stress like this for people and for myself. It's not going to happen. Never going to happen, as we know that. Okay. So, IBS. What do you do? First thing first is keep away from all dairy products. Any product, any food that has any level of dairy product inside, that is an absolute no-no. That includes like butter, chocolates, and whatever it is, milk and things like that. You've got to be careful, right? Because that can actually upset the inflammation. So I would recommend that not to take any dairy products, basically. Cutting back on spicy food. That's one recommendation, especially if you're from an Asian origin, basically. That's something. And also to keep a regular routine as to when you're eating, basically. In the Asian community, there's a lot of type 2 diabetes. That's because of rice. Again, that's on another topic that I'll probably get into later on another video. But never to eat past 8-9 o'clock. That's what I would advise. If you do, stay awake, walk around, do your things, watch TV, but don't go to bed straight away, because a lot of Asian people have the tendency of eating. I know, I do take me what, not a lot. Some actually, I wouldn't say a lot. Some have a good tendency of eating and just jumping in the bed, and they're just knocked out. And that's how rice and all this business. Rice has a high level of glucose. So you've got to understand the fact that when the rice gets broken down, it digests very quickly. Just give me one sec. Just do something here. So let's sorry. Just need to keep an eye on something. That's fine. Yep. Okay. So they eat rice, jump in bed, and next thing you know is that the glucose level has gone off the roof, because the rice contains a lot of sugar and all this, basically, and it breaks down very quickly versus other food, for example, like chapatis and all that business. So yes, there's a high level of type 2 diabetes in Asian community, purely because of rice and the way they eat and the time and all this business, basically. And that's not me saying it, it's my herbalist who've actually told me that. Okay, so this has come from somebody who's got 30 years of experience in homeopathy and things like that. Okay, right. So I bump into this, and obviously started taking it. Happy days. The IBS hasn't gone, but what that does is it helps to relieve it, basically. Now, back in the days, I had the pain throughout the entire day. The only time that I don't feel the pain or felt the pain is when I was fast asleep. That's providing that I'm getting asleep, okay? Beside that, the moment I walk out the bed, the pain was always there. Sometimes it's mild, sometimes it's severe, but it's not like the gouts and whatever you want to call it, they don't come and go. It's not just after every meal. Of course it is after every meal, it gets worse. But with me, the pain was there for 24/7, if it makes sense, basically. I thank this woman. No, I owe her my life, basically, for sort of even recommending this, because I knew nothing about this. Now the question coming back onto doctors and hospitals, why aren't they telling people, right, go and take this, try it out, see what you think, come back in about a couple of weeks, let me know what's happening, and we'll take you from there. All right, but go and try this substance. This worked on me on the 5th day. The stool samples were different. It was like I was back in my early 20s. The bowel movement was perfect. Absolutely stunning. So, and this was also, I recommended to another friend of mine, very, I wouldn't say close friend, but a friend of mine, a local community member. He's had it 4th day, 5th or 6th day, I think it was, he came knocking on my door with a tray, food, pizzas and all that. I'm thinking, has he started doing delivery? Because he's a boiler guy. So why is he coming up with the pizza? So I rang him, and he's left the food. I wasn't at home. I rang him and said, like, listen, I've dropped some food for you. Just a small token of appreciation for you recommending this stuff. This is holy grail for IBS. It helped me. Also, general indigestion issues. Your bowel movement. Your the whole thing. Now remember one thing, what this lady have said to me is that if your gut functions well, your body will function well. This is where your gut actually breaks down the food, and it supplies various nutrients, vitamins, and everything that what the body needs from that breakdown process. So your gut needs to function well, and if your gut functions well, your body will function well. And she was absolutely right about it. So let's conclude this. If somebody's suffering from IBS, I would urge them to try this out. This is brilliant. Now I'm not promising that it will work on you, but from the number of people that are recommended, yes, the symptoms have improved quite significantly. So that's what I'm taking at the moment. Just as I said, and keep the stress level low. Remember, stress is a killer itself. Stress can trigger cancer. Remember, cancer is not like a little virus running around looking for you and preying on you. No, your body, it triggers within your body. And stress is one of the biggest killer. Stress, as I repeat, can trigger cancer. Okay. There are various other treatments for cancers that the NHS won't fund, and I'm not slagging off anybody. That's my opinion. I have the right to speak up. Basically, I will speak up. I don't care. Basically, the son of a effing did what they did with my family, with my dad, and for that reason, and for that reason only, and me going through my personal experience, I'm seeing other my families are going through various other things, you know, and my brother's got a lump in his chest, basically, yeah, and he's going through the same routine of appointments after appointments, scan after scan, and I told him, listen, wise up, this is bullshit. There's no treatment for cancers. There is treatment, but they won't be what chemotherapy. Look at the chemo. Chemo can actually amplify the cancer cell. That's my belief. That's my study. It can actually make the cells more aggressive. So what that means is effectively is that they can, rather than sort of helping you, it's amplifying it in worse terms. Anyway, those are different topic. Told me, brother, wise up. Right, listen to me. Let me help you. Let's get some sea oil, pure sea oils. Yeah, start taking them, because that's good for lung cancers. I'm not going to name it. You know what I'm talking about. Pure stuff. Get it in you, and hopefully give it a couple of years, and it'll probably be all gone. But these sort of treatments has to be done at an earlier stage, basically. So you know, and for this C thing substances to work properly. All right. World knows about it. America, it's legalized in America, so why not in the UK? Why not everywhere else? But hey, it's all about power, control, or I should say money, power, and control. Money, power, and control. It's all about that. It's controlling the economy. You know, controlling the population. That's just the way it is. That's my belief. Now, I live by rules. I respect everybody. That's just the way things are. But sadly, from the hospital's point of view, from the medical point of view, actually, I should say, don't get me wrong, there are decent hospitals around the area. Okay, there's Wythenshawe hospitals, there's Royal Infirmary hospitals, absolutely brilliant hospitals. Don't get me wrong, but there are shithole hospitals that are nothing but a fucking slaughterhouse, basically, right? There's massive amount of, negligence. One hospital was in the brink of closure due to being named and shamed, basically, on BBC documentary. And some of you will know which hospital I'm referring to. It's funny, you know. I'll talk to you about this on another topic, another video, basically, you know. It's funny. But anyway, that's all, guys. I hope that this video helps people that are suffering from indigestion problems, bowel movement problems, and things like that. IBS problems. Give it a try. Trust me, this stuff won't harm you. If either it works or it doesn't work, but it's £13.50, whatever it is that it cost at the time of purchase. Amazon sell them, Boots sell them. Look online, you'll find them from many retailers. But do buy your herbal stuff like this from authorized retailers, basically. I wouldn't just randomly pick them up from, for example, AliExpress and all that business. Absolutely not. It'll have to be a proper registered business, basically. So, or speak to your local pharmacy. They should be able to get hold of them, or go into your herbal shop. Holland and Barrett's don't sell them, so don't waste your time. I've been there. They don't sell them. They do sell various other stuff, but not these, basically. So anyway, guys, stay well, stay safe. Wish you all the best, and take care. Bye for now.